¿Cómo se dice mariposa en inglés? You say lift or elevator. ¿Seguro? Of course, you see. Both go floor to floor. Para fiestas y posadas.
In this video, I will cover rule number 2 for stress. So by this time, I'm assuming you have watched video number 1. If not, I do recommend you watch number 1. That one deals with vowels and including N and S. This rule is any word that ends in a consonant, except for N, except for S, because N and S, those are going to be put with the vowels for the purpose of stress rules. So do keep that in mind. Now, as you can see, we have words here, up to here, just focus here, and these end in a consonant. Again, same rule applies. If you see a stress mark when reading, that is where the stress goes. But you're going to notice 1, 2. This is syllable 2. Remember, in Spanish, we count syllables, per the rule, right to left. So it's syllable 1, 2, 3. Therefore, this is the penultimate syllable. That's the penultimate syllable. Notice they're both marked and they have a stress, which means that for these others, since they don't have a stress, the stress must go here. Therefore, a word that ends in a consonant, except for N, except for S, if it is not marked, it is assumed that the stress of the word is at the end. So for example, say we had English, project, project. Project ends in a consonant, stress is at the end, syllable 1. We wouldn't put a stress mark on it. Whereas project, that's syllable 2, ending in a consonant, we would mark that. And that's the way it works in Spanish. But let's continue here with the examples. Now, let's say we have a word such as felizmente. Again, the suffix mente. Right? We are going to ignore this, and we're just going to subtract 2 from the syllable count. Now, the stress for feliz, so look at this word, would be here. That's where the stress goes. Feliz, happy. Felizmente, right? So felizmente, happily. So felizmente, stress is in feliz. We're going to do 1, 2, 3 minus 2. That's 1. Syllable 1. There's no stress, right? Keep that in mind. So let's go to spelling. Now we're looking at the spelling. So if we look at infantil, right? Infantil, stress is at the end. If we look at débil, so infantile, weak, feliz, happy, and Júpiter, Jupiter. We have the stress here. Now we're going to apply these stress rules. If the stress is at the end, syllable 1, you do not mark the stress. If the stress is anywhere else, you mark the stress. Therefore here we will not mark it, but over here we will, and over here we will. And this is how we know in Spanish where the stress goes, or where the stress is when we read. If it's marked, that's the word we stress. If it is not marked, it is assumed at the end. And again, if you have words such as felizmente that end in mente, just ignore mente and see what that letter is. This is a consonant. It follows the rules of consonants. Feliz would have the stress at the end. Therefore, you would not mark it because it follows the norm. Therefore, felizmente is considered to follow the norm and should not be marked. Well, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.